Hey everyone and welcome. Today we're going to do something a little different. We are going to crack open the very first page of an Arabic textbook and basically deconstruct it. We're going to see what it can teach us about the fundamental rules and maybe even the cultural DNA that a language shows us from its very first hello. Let's see what secrets are hiding in plain sight.
So, the first thing we see on the cover of Unit 1 is a handshake. It's a universal symbol, right? Connection. The title, Greetings and Introductions, tells us we're starting right at square one. This isn't just about memorizing words. It's about the very human act of meeting somebody for the first time.
All right, let's open the book. What are the foundational words that Arabic decides we need to learn before anything else?
Okay, so the textbook immediately jumps into two of the most essential questions you can ask. What is your name and how are you? Seems simple enough, right? But buried inside these basic phrases, Arabic is already teaching us a core grammatical concept that pretty much shapes the entire language.
Our very first interaction here shows two men speaking, and the phrase is, Ma ismuka. Now, this looks straightforward, but the key detail is who is being spoken to. Ma ismuka translates to, what is your name? But you gotta notice that crucial detail. This isn't a one-size-fits-all you. This exact phrasing is only used when you're speaking to a male. This is our first big clue about how Arabic grammar works.
Listen really closely to the end of that phrase, ma ismuka. That ka sound at the end, that is the most important part right now. It's the little grammatical marker we really need to pay attention to.
Okay, now the lesson switches it up. We see two women talking. The Arabic script looks almost identical, but there's a really subtle yet critical change. Let's see what it is.
So the phrase here is ma ismuki. It still means, what is your name, but it's the version for speaking to a female. Did you catch that change? That ending sound shifted from ka to ki.
So it's ma ismuki, that small little vowel shift from an a to an e totally changes the context of who you're speaking to. It's a simple rule, but wow, is it fundamental.
So here's the core rule, laid out nice and clear. The word for your isn't static, it actually changes based on gender. The suffix ka is for masculine your and ki is for feminine. So, from the very first question you learn, the language is making you actively acknowledge the gender of the person you're talking to.
Now let's see how this rule applies to our second key question. We're back to two men speaking, and the phrase is kaifa haluka.
Kaifa haluka means, how are you? And there it is again, that familiar ka ending. Because the speaker is addressing a man, the possessive your takes on that masculine form. You see? The pattern is consistent.
So, just like with ismuka, we now have haluka. The root words are different, but that grammatical marker for your stays exactly the same. Once you spot the pattern, the logic just clicks into place.
And to complete our set of essential phrases, we see two women. You can probably guess what's coming next based on the pattern we've just learned, right?
And you'd be absolutely right. It's kaifa haluki. It means, how are you, but addressed to a female, using that ki suffix we now recognize. This is a perfect example of how, once you understand a core rule in Arabic, you can just start applying it to new vocabulary.
And with that, we have our four core phrases. We've learned the vocabulary, and more importantly, we figured out the grammatical rule that governs them all. So we have the building blocks. Now the textbook doesn't waste any time, it immediately wants to put them to the test. Let's see how it makes sure we remember all this. Okay, this first exercise, or Tajrid 1, is basically a simple matching game. You draw a line from the written phrase, like ma ismuka, to the correct picture. In this case, the one with the two men talking. It's a really smart way to reinforce the connection between the words and the social situation. The next exercise, Tajrid 2, takes it a step further. We're moving beyond just recognizing phrases. This is about putting them together into the back and forth rhythm of a real conversation.
So the exercise starts with maybe the most famous Arabic greeting there is, Assalamu alaikum, meaning peace be upon you. What's fascinating here is that unlike the phrases we just learned, this greeting is universal. It's the same no matter who you're speaking to.
And the standard response, which you'd match it with, is wa alaikum wassalam, which means, and upon you be peace. This is the foundational exchange of pretty much any Arabic conversation.
Next, the exercise pairs our question, ma ismuka, with its logical answer, ismi, which means my name is. So the textbook's philosophy is really clear. From day one, you're not just memorizing words, you're learning the actual mechanics of a real conversation.
So after taking apart this single page, what have we really learned? It's definitely more than just a couple of handy phrases.
We've walked away with 4 essential phrases, sure, but the real takeaway is the grammar hiding underneath. We've discovered that spoken Arabic is a gendered language, and those little suffixes, ka and ki, are our first key. And we've also seen a teaching style that really focuses on immediate, practical conversation. It's a remarkably efficient way to get started.
This all leaves us with a final question to think about. The very first lesson in Arabic requires you to recognize and acknowledge the gender of the person you are speaking to. So what does the first lesson of any language, the way it teaches you to say hello, truly reveal about its structure, its priorities, and maybe, just maybe, its culture?